Y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. We are here. Happy Thursday. Happy thriving Thursday. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling today? Man, listen, what did I tell y'all about on Thursdays? Like, yo, didn't I tell y'all we gonna go in? We are going to go in on leadership today. So get y'all questions, get all that. But like, yo, we got a small little agenda today, right? We never have an agenda. But like, yo, we got a small little agenda today, yo. Why? Because it is very, very, very important that we build up our leadership skills, yo. That we build up our leadership muscles. We really got to start like focusing in and zoning out on all things leadership. So it's a couple things that I'm gonna bring to the table today just for us to kind of set some foundational things around leadership. And then we're going to answer all the questions and all that stuff like that. So we never have enough time, y'all. And we are definitely going to run out of time with some of the things I want to talk about today. So let me just go ahead and get right to it, yo, because I hope somebody is ready to thrive on this good, thriving Thursday. Breezy Breeze, what's up? I see you at the top, Breezy Breeze. How you feeling, yo? Good to see you. Good to see you, yo. Tanner, what's up, Santana? How you doing, yo? Good to see you always, yo. Chaos Smoothies, what's up, Chaos Smoothies? I was just bragging about Chaos Smoothies too, yo. I'm like, yo, if you ain't had a Chaos Smoothies, you missing out. Shorty sell out everywhere she go. What's up, Chaos Smoothies? Jono J, what's up, Jono J? Yo, somebody tell my girl Jono J, yo, that when she is on a project, yo, it's hers from start to finish. She own it all. Somebody let my girl Jono J know that. What's up, Jono J? How you feeling? Jono J, it's crazy because some of the stuff that we're going to talk about today is definitely going to help you get better with some of the projects. Like, for real, for real. So make sure y'all got some notepads, something to write on and all that, to jot down notes that's relevant to you. Yo, what's up, yo? Good to see you, yo. Mr. Elaborator, what's up, Mr. Elaborator? Good to see you. Kamori, what's up? I hope I'm saying that right. What's up, yo? How you feeling? Good to see you. Trackstar, what's up, Trackstar? How you doing, yo? Good to see you. Anaya, what's up, Anaya? Good to see you. How you feeling? Rally Rouse, I feel like you've been MIA, though. But what's up, Rally Rouse? How you feeling, yo? Good to see you. Tizzy Tay, what's up, Tizzy Tay? Good to see you, yo. Thank you for being a part of the cleanup team yesterday, too. And you didn't even have to be. You showed up on a volunteer tip, but still got your coinage. We appreciate that. Big 16, what's up, Big 16? Good to see you, yo. How you feeling? Yo, my little list is slowing down. What's going on? JP, what's up, JP? How you feeling, yo? Good to see you. Raquel, what's up, Raquel? How you feeling, yo? Good to see you, yo. My man Finn, what's up, Finn? Finn really be stepping up, yo. If anybody is on that food insecurity team, yo, I ain't gonna lie, yo. Like, some of y'all need to be ashamed of yourself. But you know what? It's all good because the turnover will be happening shortly. So don't even worry about it. Hey, Jono J, we ain't got to worry about what everybody yet. The people that's supposed to be here to get this lesson, they the ones that's here. That's all we worried about because we getting deep in the leadership today. So this ain't even for everybody, yo. So don't even worry about it. We here, Jono J. That's all that matters, yo. Charles, what's up, Charles? Good to see you, yo. How you feeling? Yo, Audie said you missed last week. What's up, Audie? How you doing, Audie? Y'all gotta get that food insecurity team, man. Like, y'all need some fresh blood on that team, yo. Y'all definitely need some fresh blood on that team. And I'm not even about to really go in deep because some of the concepts we're going to talk about today is going to help you and Takia better manage that whole team for real. So hopefully Takia make her way onto these sessions, because if you want to lead a whole project, you got to get some of the basic skills in terms of leadership so that we can be able to lead these projects effectively. Like no more just putting people in charge just because like they show up. Showing up is the bare minimum. You got to do a little bit more than showing up. Like you really, really, really got to, like start to like lead and help build the capacity and grow other people on that team. Like that food insecurity team, man, it's not it, yo. It's not it right now. But we gonna work it out, yo. We is going to work it out, yo. Yo, hey, Big 16, I'm blessed, yo. You already know, yo. I'm here, yo. It's a good day to be alive. What's up, Jordy? Good to see you, Jordy. How you feeling, y'all? Jordy sneaking in the bathroom to be with us for a few minutes, yo. Always love to have you here. What's up, Deasia? Good to see you, Deasia. Taylor, what's up, Taylor? How you feeling? Yo, Taylor being consistent. I love to see it, yo. Gemma the Dilemma. What's up, yo? How you feeling? All right, y'all. I think I got everybody. Yo, we're going to leave it at that because we got a lot to get into. Yo, again, Thursdays, we're going to be going real deep into leadership. So anybody that's serious about building up their capacity as a leader, like if you see yourself as a strong leader in the future, if that's where you want to be, this is going to be your space, because this is what we're going to be doing on Thursdays, like really getting into the nitty gritty so that when you stepping into whatever spaces you in, whether it's a project, whether it's a job in the community, like whatever it is, you should be able to go in and your presence should be felt. You should be able to leave a space and you leave something behind, whereas people know that you were there. So like, yo, I just hope that none of the businesses that I work with that's paying me money to teach this stuff, yo, I just hope that they never find these lives, yo. Because if they find these lives, there go all my contracts, yo. Because what they gotta pay me a couple thousands of dollars for if they could just come here and get it for free. So we just go pray on that they don't find these lives, y'all. But this is what we're gonna get into today, y'all. And feel free to ask y'all questions along the way, because we definitely want to make sure that we get the questions answered. But it's two major things that I want to cover today, y'all. The first thing is talking about the leadership mindsets. Now, I know we talk a lot about mindset from like a growth perspective and talking about a fixed perspective, right? Those two mindsets. That's like the basics. That's just like the minimum where you start with anything. The next level of that is where you're talking about the mindsets of a leader. And it's four different mindsets of a leader. And we're going to get into all four. I'm going to talk to y'all about all four so that you can understand what these four mindsets are in terms of leadership. And then the second thing that we're going to get into is we really going to like list out some of the character traits that leaders have, like that you need to have. If you want to call yourself a leader, there are certain character traits that you just absolutely need to have. So we're going to list out some of those character traits, and then like whatever questions y'all have about them, we can answer questions and really just kind of talk about like why those character traits are important, because some of the character traits that you need to be a leader are like very specific traits, and you got to figure out for yourself, like if you have that trait or if you don't have that trait, or if you have that trait but it's not really like developed, maybe you got like a weak version of that trait, or thinking about too, what are some traits that you have that you are already exemplifying mastery skill at. So we got a lot to get into, y'all, and I really got to treat y'all a little bit like how I be doing some of my classes. So let me share this screen because I'm gonna have to write as we talk, as we go through this. All right. So hopefully y'all should be able to see this, y'all. Trackstar said, when it comes to the traits, how often should we reevaluate them? Trackstar, that's a great question. And it's a constant reevaluation. Like, because what you'll find, like, especially when you are doing like different things in leadership, like some stuff is situational. Yeah, it's a blank screen right now, Trackstar, because I haven't wrote yet. Like, can you see this? It's a blank screen because I haven't wrote. And forgive my handwriting. My handwriting is terrible. But yeah, it's blank right now. But like some stuff is definitely situational, but you should be reevaluating like your behavior and the character traits that you demonstrate like on a constant basis. Because what you don't want to be is, you don't want to become a leader that is hypocritical, meaning that like sometimes when it's convenient, you are accountable, but when it's not convenient, you're not accountable. Or being a hypocritical leader in a sense where people can tell that you got favorites. Like, yo, we are all human. Like, even though we are leaders, at the end of the day, we are all human. And there are going to be some people that we like working with more than others. But like, yo, to the naked eye, people shouldn't really be able to tell or feel a difference between you working with one person versus another person. So that's why it's on you to like really constantly reevaluate, check your behavior, and pull yourself up when you noticing that you might be treating somebody else differently because you might favor working with that person over working with another person, or because you're not feeling good one day, or you don't feel like doing something, so you slacking on what you bring to the table. Like, that's never okay. But that's a great question. All right, y'all. So let's get into these mindsets first, y'all. So let me put right here. And again, y'all, sorry so much about my handwriting, but this is the only way that I can effectively do this, because this is what I do in real trainings. In real trainings, I got to write because it helps me to kind of stay on point and to really get my message across in terms of what I'm trying to do. All right. So the 4 leadership mindsets, y'all. All right. So the first mindset that we have is called commitment. All right. So that's the first mindset that we have, right? And the way how we're going to break this down is we're going to say we have non-leader, and then we have leader. All right. So when you're dealing with the commitment part of the mindset, y'all, the non-leader, this person is this. And y'all hear me say this all the time. Motivated. This person is just motivated. And if we know anything about motivation, we know that motivation runs out. We know that motivation, at best, it will get you started, but it will never carry you through. And motivated people are good to have on your team. You want people on your team that are motivated, because when they are in that spirit of being motivated, you able to get work out of them for real. Now, it's on you as a leader on how do you keep that person motivated. And that's where you got to know your team, know their personalities, know what's important to them, and really start building relationships with people so that you know how to keep them in that motivated phase. So when it comes to the commitment mindset, our non-leaders, they are motivated people. Our leaders are passionate. And thank you so much for that, Baby Barack. Yes, because discipline, you already know, is definitely something that we appreciate so much. But yo, when we're thinking about leaders, in terms of their commitment, leaders are not just motivated. Leaders are passionate. Thank you, Jordy. Hey, you know what? I appreciate that, because for real, I'm doing it more for me than I am for y'all. But I'm glad that you appreciate it, yo. So leaders are passionate, yo. And when you walk in the room, like, your team can feel your energy, because they know that this is something that you care about. They know that this is something that's important to you. And it's not just a one-day thing. It's not just like a one-hitter quitter. People who are true leaders, we carry that passion with us. So regardless of what we do, we're going to put passion in it, because our mindset that's around commitment, our commitment to whatever that situation is, not that we are motivated to take care of that situation, but that we are passionate to be a part of that situation and to do whatever it is that we need in order to see the team to success. I'm telling you now, y'all, if you walking into spaces and people can't feel your energy, then you aren't doing an effective job of displaying your passion. As low key as I am, right? And I'm just using myself as an example because that's the closest thing that I got right now. But as low key and laid back as I am, I still can go in the room and people can still feel my energy and feel my passion, because as a leader, my commitment is that I'm passionate about this. And one thing that you really got to decide for yourself when you picking up different projects and picking up different tasks and things to do, ask yourself, are you passionate about it? And that's how people end up getting into these jobs that they hate, and they be in just these cycles that they just want to break but don't know how to break, because it's like, you're not passionate about your job. You're not passionate about what you do. So if you're not passionate about it, then as a leader, you shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be there as a leader. You can probably be a part of the team and not be passionate about it, because remember, people who are motivated, they're going to do whatever they're going to do. You're going to give them a task, and if they motivated to do it, they're going to do that. But like, if you aren't passionate about it, don't you dare put yourself in front of that team to try to lead the team, because on the commitment piece, you're going to fall through. You're not going to be successful on the commitment piece if you aren't passionate about it. So ask yourself that question. And yes, Taylor, everybody isn't meant to be a leader, but I'll tell y'all this, anybody can be a leader. You can grow into being a leader. It takes work, but definitely not everybody when you in it for the wrong reasons. So that's our first mindset, y'all. Commitment. Here's our second mindset, y'all. Let's get to number 2. Our second mindset, and this is, y'all know, if y'all been rocking with me, y'all already know this is like one of my favorite words, y'all. Accountability. Accountability, y'all. Oh, Ralph said there's nothing wrong with not being a one to be a leader, but don't necessarily be a follower. Hey, you know what, Ralph? Before you can be a leader, though, you got to know how to be a follower. It depends on what you are following. That's the thing, because any great leader knows that our goal is to build up other leaders, and you can't build up other leaders if you don't know how to follow. So you got to be able to put yourself in that follow role and demonstrate what that follow means. But I get it, though. When most people say don't be a follower, normally we mean don't be a follower when it comes to stupid, dumb stuff. Like, don't drink and drive. Don't be a follower with that. Be a leader with that. And somebody step up and say, no, this ain't the right thing to do. Every time I think about one of my good buddies that used to work with me at Comcast, like, he lost his kids in a drunk driving situation and they were teenagers, because not one of those teenagers stepped up and said, you know what? this ain't cool. Let's let the person that's sober drive. Nobody stepped up to say that. And as a result, he lost basically his whole family. So stuff like that, yes, don't be a follower. But that was a great point. Now, with accountability, y'all, this mindset for our non-leaders, y'all, this mindset, they are just a contributor. And y'all might be thinking, Miss Joni, what do you mean by a contributor? What I mean by a contributor is that these people, all they want to do is fulfill whatever the basic responsibilities is. These are the people where you hear them say, yo, what do I need to do? Tell me what I need to get done, and I'm going to do that. That's it. Don't expect me to do anything more. Don't expect me to do anything less. You tell me what I need to do, I'm going to get it done. Leaders, that's fine for us. We need contributors on our team. It's okay. And this goes back to Taylor's point too, that like not everybody was meant to be a leader. It's okay if that's the attitude that you want to have. Like, yo, that is perfectly fine. Hey, Ken, what you just thought of? Like, that is perfectly fine. So us as leaders, though, we just got to know how to operate with those people when we know that that's their mindset when it comes to accountability, that all they want to do is their job. Tell me what I got to do and it's done. You ain't got to worry about it. That's fine. That's that non-leadership mindset. Now, us leaders, y'all, here go where we at. We are the owner. We own that thing. We own it. It don't matter what it is, y'all. When we have the accountability mindset of a leader, we own it. It don't matter who it was originally assigned to. It don't matter who was supposed to do it. It don't matter who dropped the ball. It don't matter who made a mistake. We own it. When you have the accountability leadership mindset, yo, you never assume that it was somebody else's responsibility. You automatically feel responsible for everything. Now, don't get this confused with micromanaging. You don't want to micromanage your team. If you find yourself micromanaging your team, you're doing a leadership thing wrong. The only time that it's acceptable to micromanage your team is when you've given them like a fair warning, like when you talk to them and say like, look, y'all not getting this done, so I'm going to have to tighten up, or I'm going to have to give y'all more direction. And you kind of talk with them to see how you can better support them. Some people will raise their hand and say, hey, I need you to micromanage me because that's the only way I'm going to get it done. I need to feel that pressure. I've had employees tell me that and say that to me. Okay, I don't like to micromanage, but if that's how you feel like you're going to best be successful, then I'll do that. But that shouldn't be your go-to. And if you find yourself micromanaging, you're probably doing it wrong. But like, yo, this is the mindset that you want to have when it comes to accountability, yo. Leaders, we're not pointing a finger talking about who did it wrong. We're not pointing a finger talking about who dropped the ball. One of the first things out our mouths is, you know what? I own that. I apologize, or I realize that I could have did something better. Point in case, with that freaking iPhone giveaway that we just had with our partners, yo, I could have pointed all the fingers in the world as to why it didn't go right when we had our debrief call. And Journal J had actually called it out. I recognized I was outside dealing with the outside event of the situation, making sure that that was okay. When they were talking about the iPhone, yo, I did not even bother to point the finger, even though I know where the ball was dropped. But because I got this leadership mindset, even if I know who dropped the ball, I'm not about to position it like that. I'm going to first take accountability for my fault. you know what? I'm not even putting it on nobody because I did not go over to the site when they were doing the raffle. So I blame myself for things not going right. And that was where I left the conversation. That was where I left the conversation. And you got to figure out for yourself, how are you going to be able to put yourself in position to basically take the blame even when it's not your fault? And that's a big thing to do, y'all. It can be frustrating a lot of times. It can demand a lot out of you, like mentally and emotionally, especially when you get to the point where you feel like you basically taking on the world for everybody else. But in terms of being a leader, that's the space where you got to live in. Now, again, y'all, just because we own it doesn't mean that we don't coach other people up. So while you are taking the blame and while you are carrying all the blame on your shoulders and giving away the credit, you still should be having conversations to the side in private or whatever with people about their behavior and their part in the situation. That is how you help people get better. If you just own it and you take it, but you don't ever call people out and let people know that the part that they drop, then you are depriving them of an opportunity for them to learn and grow from the situation. And remember how we talked about, as a leader, it's important for you to gain trust and respect from people. You will gain trust and respect when you own it in public, right? So when people on the conference call or people in the meeting, you taking ownership, you ain't really necessarily calling nobody out, but you taking the blame, you owning it. But then in private, where there's no room for you to embarrass nobody, no room for nobody to be defensive or nothing like that, you are having that conversation with people saying, hey, help me understand what happened. Help me understand how I can better support you so that way we don't find ourselves in these situations no more. People will respect you a lot better that way. And you are setting an example for how in the future they will start to step up to own it for you. All right. We moving, yo. We moving. That's accountability. All right, what we on? We on number 3, right? Number 3, this mindset is the performance mindset, y'all. This mindset is the performance mindset. And again, you got your leaders and you got your non-leaders, yo. So let's start with our non-leaders again, y'all. Our non-leaders, when it comes to performance, yo, and I hate this word, yo, but they good. They just want to be good, yo. People who are non-leaders, their mindset when it comes to performance is, I just want to perform my job to the expectation of my boss, whoever I'm reporting to, whatever the leader is, whatever their expectations are. I just want to be good enough in that space. And that's it. They don't want to go nowhere else. They don't want to be the worst. Yes, Dorian, mediocre. But yo, but Finn, they don't want to be the worst, yo. They don't necessarily want to be the best either. Like, yo, they just want to make sure that you're happy. And that's it. And yo, it's okay. I call these people my B players. I have A players, B players, and C players. These people that want to do a good job, like, yo, they are your B players. And B players are good to have on your team. Why? Because you know that when you communicate your expectation, they are at minimum going to meet the expectation. And here's one thing that I do. You got to figure out, like, what's your style going to be. But me, I normally overestimate whatever my expectation is. So, like, if I know that I need to get, let's say something on like by like a Friday, if I know that Friday is my absolute deadline, I'm not even mentioning Friday to my team. The only thing they're going to ever hear come out of my mouth is Wednesday, because I know how they work. They just want to meet my expectation. So if they meet my expectation on Wednesday, then you know what? They've exceeded the expectation without even knowing, because technically they didn't even have to get it done until Friday. I give y'all another good example. Oh, Big 16, don't forget about them A++. Man, listen, when I see something, I'll let you know. But hey, Jordy, that's a great question. Why be good when you can be great? And this is why it's a mindset gap. This is exactly why we're talking about this, because it's a mindset gap. Not everybody wants to be great. It's a sad thing. It's a sad reality for us to think about, but not everybody wants to be great. And some people are okay living that mediocre life, but us as leaders, it's important for us to recognize that and then manage appropriately. We don't manage people, we lead people, but we got to manage the things. Like we got to manage the behaviors and the performance. I'm gonna give y'all one more example of this before I get to the leaders mindset on this. When I was in the call center at Comcast, right, our goal, right, for what do we call it, for call time was like 70%. That was the bare minimum, right, that we could meet. If we made 70%, like, we was good. Every team that was under me, I never even spoke a 70% out my mouth. All they ever heard me talk about was 95% or better. And people, because of the way I communicated my message, people just inherently thought that 95% was the goal. They didn't even know that 70% was the goal. And I remember one person telling me that, like, after they had worked with me for like months and months or whatever, they were used to 95%. So when they went to another location and the other location was talking about 70%, they were automatically the best employee at that new center, because they outshining everybody, because they already had 95% grained into their head. So when they go over to this new space and those people are bragging about meeting a 75% or 85% because 70% is the goal, they like, yo, what the heck you doing? 95%. And it's like, yo, but I didn't take that person out of their comfort zone or whatever. Like, they were still in that good mindset, but because of me as a leader and because of the expectation that I set, I just set the expectation higher, knowing that they just wanted to meet my expectation. So I hope that that makes sense when you're figuring out how you can lead some of these mediocre people and how you can help these mediocre people be better even than what they are capable of. Like, never, ever, ever have them just shooting for the bare minimum. Yo, I hope I'm not lagging. I hope that's just you, yo. I hope that's just Big 16. All right, let's get into the leaders, yo. Here's the mindset of a leader, yo, when it comes to performance. The best. That's it. That's it. It ain't nothing else. When it comes to performance, yo, the mindset of a leadership is I have to do my best. I'm constantly looking to take my performance to the next level. That's how leaders think about performance. That's how they think about it. If we are doing an amazing job, yo, we cool, but we're always challenging ourselves to figure out, what does that next level look like? Can we give more? Now, sometimes you hit the ceiling. Sometimes you hit the ceiling and that's just it. Like, you done maxed out. But at that point, when you feel like you done you done maxed out on something, that's where you got to go extra hard and making sure that you teach somebody else and that you fill somebody else up. And like for me, using myself as an example again, like even though I don't feel like I'm maxed out on leadership, because there's still so much to know and so much to learn, like it's a constant learning thing. I've definitely hit an extremely high level of leadership to where as though now I got to be pouring this into somebody else. Everything that I got in me, yo, I got to be pouring this in so that other people can take advantage of what I've learned and then make it their own. Everything that we talk about, I get it. You're not going to be able to put it into practice the same way that I did. Why? Because you're not Miss Joni. You're going to put it into practice in your way, and it's going to look like your style and your leadership. But you just got to make the commitment that as you learn skills and as you get better, yo, you got to make sure that you pouring into other people so that your best is not just with you. And that's what made me like such a legend at Comcast, because it was all like, yo, not only was I the best, I made other people the best too. Nobody was messing with nobody on my team. The weakest person on my team could beat somebody else's best person on their team. That's how I carried it with my leadership style and how I poured into other people. So you just got to figure out what that looks like to you. All right, y'all. Moving right along, yo. The fourth one, y'all. And this is probably one of my favorite ones, yo. This is the vision mindset. This is the vision mindset. And again, let's start with our non-leaders, yo. Let's start with non-leaders. Non-leaders, when it comes to vision, yo, this is all they worried about. All they worried about is the present. Right here, right now, yo. These people say, I focus on accomplishing my immediate goals to the best of my ability, and that's it. That's it. That's right, Martin General. This lesson is free, yo. I pray none of my paying customers, yo, find this live. They're going to be like, huh? But like, yo, people who don't have the vision, leadership mindset, yo, all they want to focus on is doing everything to the best of their ability right now. That's it, yo. They not thinking about nothing else. They not thinking about what happened yesterday, what happened in the past. They daggone sure not thinking about what's happening tomorrow and what's happening in the future. And yes, thank you, Chaos Smoothies, because you stealing it. You stealing it. But yo, again, as leaders, it's okay to have these present people on your team. It's okay, yo. Hey, Chaos Smoothies, you crazy, yo. Ha! You is dumb, yo. Yo, it's okay to have these present thinking people on your team, yo, because you can know with confidence that they are focused on the here and now. It's okay. Again, you can't change everybody, and everybody's not going to have a leadership mindset when it comes to these things. So it's okay. You got your people that's focused on the here and now, and you can trust that when you give them things to do that's timely, they're going to handle it. It's fine. You need your people like that. Now, our leaders, y'all. Yes. Oh, hold up, y'all. I gotta put leaders right there. Hold up, y'all. Hold up, y'all. But Chaos Smoothie already told us, yo, the future. That's where we at with it, yo. That's where we at with the leadership mindset. People with a leadership mindset, they are thinking things like, yo, my success depends on always looking for what's next. Like, yo, let me see. Ralph said, I argue that leaders focus on the past, present, and future. Hey, well, Ralph, absolutely. Absolutely. But like, yo, when we're thinking about vision though, Ralph, and that's the part that you're missing. So think about vision. Vision doesn't really have that much to do with the past or the present. Vision has everything to do with the future state. So yes, while you need to be cognizant of the past because we're constantly learning from the past, and while you need to be present in the future because the present is what's building up the future, when it comes to the a leadership mindset around vision, remember, we locked in right now on a leadership mindset and the 4 leadership mindsets. And the vision leadership mindset is specific for future, Rel, because vision is about the future. So I hope that that makes sense. What you're saying is not wrong, generally speaking. Generally speaking, you are on the money. You are on point. But when we narrow it down to vision, vision is about forward thinking. Yes. Thank you, Rel. Rel, see what I mean? Yes, the main component. Yes. Vision is about forward thinking. And a lot of people don't have forward thinking. Yes, Chaos Smoothies, you can utilize the past mistakes to help with your vision. Absolutely. And that's why I said overall, a well-rounded leader is definitely going to be on point with past, present, and future because they are using the mistakes of the past to help build, and they are in the moment for the present to also help build. But like, yo, when you are looking at that future state, and this is the kind of look that you don't look with your eyes. This is the kind of look that you imagine. This is that picture that you paint in your mind. And when you are talking to your team about what the future state could look like, the future state is nothing like the past. It's nothing like the present. The future state is what you are going to build it into. And that's why, like, people who work with like NASA, right? Like, it's this big thing now. And not even with NASA, but with space travel in general. It's this big thing now where people are looking towards the future to say, hey, in the future, we are going to be able to take joy rides to space. Like, think about now how you just get on a roller coaster. You get on a roller coaster, yo, and like, that's your thrill for the day. Imagine one day you being able to get in line and actually go to space. And like, that's equivalent to what we do with a roller coaster right now. You see how that's vision, thinking about what the future state could look like. Yes, the people who are working on that are learning the lessons from the past and building on what people have done in the past. And in the present, they are creating new technology and thinking about the new ideas and thinking about what that roadmap would lead to in order to get us there. Because most people know that us that's living today, we probably won't be around to see that future state. It'll probably be y'all grandkids that'll be around to see that future state. But you see what I mean when I say future, focused on the future? Like, that is the leadership mindset. And when you are in charge of a team, I don't care if it's for these projects in your community, wherever it's at, when you are in charge of the team, you got to have the vision. Because if you don't have the vision, then what are people working towards? And yo, I hate the pick on food insecurity team, but like, using them as an example, like right now, you can really tell that nobody is really stepping up in a leadership capacity to paint the vision for them and to have people working towards that vision. Like, granted, my man's Finn, anything that we need done, Finn gonna get it done. He's going to do it. We put a request in there. Finn is the first one to say, I got it. let's go back some. Where do that fall in? Where do that fall in? We can put that into accountability because he's definitely contributing. We can put that in performance and good because he's definitely meeting the expectations. But like, yo, when we think about who is pushing people towards the future state, and the vision really should be for them to be the solution for food insecurity when it comes to Baltimore, when it comes to young people. Who's painting that picture? Who's helping them to see what that future state looks like and helping to push people towards that? Nobody really. And that's why I'm saying, like, yo, we really gotta be conscious about our behaviors when we are putting ourselves in a leadership position, to be sure that our behaviors aren't just like the ones that are okay for a non-leader, but that our behaviors are really demonstrating the ones of a leader. All right. So we got that. Full mindsets, yo. full mindsets. Now, yo, some people might be thinking, like, how do I know when I'm demonstrating or when I've developed those leadership mindsets? Oh, Finn, I already know you want it, because you the type, like, yo, once you learn something, like, yo, you get it. Yo, Miss Caitlin is in charge of the food insecurity team. But like, yo, make sure y'all really take the time to find out what it is and what it's about, because I think that's part of the problem too. Like, some people just be jumping on the project just because they know that they're going to get a check, but their heart really don't be in the work. Remember how we talked about, what did we say? Motivated versus passionate. They were motivated to get that check, but not really passionate about the work. And it's like, yo, you can tell that some people just showing up for the check, yo. So yeah, but dang, our time, y'all, our time. We probably not going to get through everything, but let me try to go through some of these real quick. So look, so how do you know you working on developing your mindset specifically as a leader, as a leader? How do you know? Here's a couple of things, yo, that you will be doing. One of the first things that you're going to be doing is you're going to be empowering others. And like, yo, that's a big deal, yo, because anybody that's a leader, but that's not building up other leaders, you're not really that much of a leader. You're a leader when people are following you. So you might be at the low level, but you're not really operating at a high level of leadership if you aren't building up and empowering other leaders. So don't think that when you are delegating tasks or when you are making room, you can't see my, hey, yo, you trying to crack on my handwriting, yo? My bad. My bad, yo. You can't see? Yo. Oh, man. All right, there we go. We should be good. My bad, yo. I got y'all. But like, don't think that when you are making space for other people, that that's taken away from your shine. That's the wrong attitude to have. A real leader, y'all, is going to put their people up front so their people can shine, so that their people feel empowered and they feel like that they're the leader. Even if they don't necessarily have the title of the leader, like, yo, you know you're doing it right when people feel like they own a piece of it. The second thing, yo, teaching and engaging. And with this one, yo, you know how some people, when they know something, they're not going to share it with you because they're afraid that you're going to be better, or that like you're going to take their knowledge and build on it and grow past them. Don't be afraid to let the people who are following you grow past you. If anything, that's a true mark of a leader, when you can push people to grow past you. And we all have our strengths in our weaknesses, yo. You got to be able to help people play on their strengths. Yes, we want to help people build up their weaknesses, but as a leader, it's your job to figure out where people are strong at and utilize those strengths. Amplify and magnify people's strengths. When you do that, your team is going to be so much better. Because imagine if you had a team where everybody is operating in their strength with what they're good at. Give you a quick example real quick. We know James good on the flyers. We know Chaos Smoothies good on the smoothies. We know we know my man Beats good on the engineering. Imagine if we assigned Cam to the studio and she had to make beats. She could probably figure it out. But like, why would we do that if we have somebody whose strong suit is beats? We know for a fact that anybody can teach themselves anything, right? Cam is cool, but yo, we not gonna put her in the studio. Beats is cool, right? But yo, why would we assign Beats to do the flyer or to do the website when we see that James has that strength and he operates well in that strength? Like, no, like, Beats, we love you and all, but we're going to let James operate in his strength. We're going to let James work on these graphics. You see how that go? But like, yo, you as the leader, it's on you to determine where people's strengths are. You can't always expect for people to just come out and tell you what their strengths are, because truth be told, sometimes where people are comfortable at, sometimes that's not always their strength. And also, sometimes people don't always recognize their own strengths. And that's where leaders come in. And that's where we can help people identify their strengths and be able to say, yo, you are really good at this. And figure out, number one, do you like to do it? Because if you like to do it, that's a plus. If you don't like to do it, then okay, we might have to have like a more in-depth conversation. But like, yo, once you are identifying people's strengths, it's on you to utilize those strengths and to put people in positions where they are set up for success from the jump. All right. And teaching and engaging people, like my man Rel said, like, yo, ain't no gatekeeping around here. Whatever you know, they should know. Whatever you are privy to, unless it's like private information or whatever like that, they should be privy to that as well, because you want people to feel like you value them and that they are actually being invested in. And when you start teaching people and engaging people in the process, they will begin to have that feeling that you value them and that you care about them. And as a leader, yo, that's what you want to create. All right. The next thing, yo, and this one is key, yo. This one is really, really key, yo. Yo, hold up, yo. Y'all know my handwriting bad and my spelling bad, yo. Hold up, yo. Hold up. My handwriting bad and my spelling bad. Hold up. All right, there we go. Influencing the actions of others. This one is key, yo. And let me highlight this one, yo. Let me highlight this one, yo. Because this one is probably definitely one of the most important, yo. Because you know that you are really, really, really on top of your leadership game, yo, when you are actually influencing other people to act in a certain way. Now, that doesn't mean that you like this puppet master and all that and you controlling people's actions. No, it doesn't mean that. What it means is that you set such a strong example that other people are actually inspired by you, and other people actually want to emulate what you do. When people start emulating your behaviors and emulating what you do, then you know that you pretty much kind of hit the jackpot when it comes to leadership, because now people respect you enough and trust you enough to literally want to follow in your footsteps. An example of that, y'all, probably the best one I can think of is like the Daily Jewels, yo. Like, so many people, and yeah, like I might have kicked it off just because it was my thing, but like, yo, I am not dumb or naive, like, in thinking that it was all me. It definitely was not all me, yo. Other people got inspired because they saw Cam being dedicated every single day, posting her jewel, yo. Other people became inspired. They saw Finn doing his jewel, and he was the first one to do like the actual jewel countdown. Like, he was like the first one to do that. And like other people who were posting their jewels, like everybody isn't as consistent like on the daily, but like even the people who post jewels like here and there, just other people being able to see that, people are inspired by that. So when you are able to influence the actions of other people, like, yo, definitely you are moving in the right direction. And you want to make sure that the actions are positive and productive actions, y'all. Definitely, for sure, for sure. You don't want to be influencing people to do the wrong things, y'all. All right. This one is more on the work tip though, y'all. So like improving operations. And yo, this one is important because like when you are on those projects and stuff like that, or you at your job or whatever it is, like, yo, you want to make sure that the operation is running as smoothly as possible. Like, you want to make sure that that whatever processes and procedures or whatever you have in place, that those things make sense, and that they aren't hindering the team from success, but that they are actually helping the team to succeed. So you as a leader, yo, you definitely gotta look at your situation and say, okay, what can I do to help improve the whole entire operation? And Jazz, I told you all you had to do was show up, yo, and you was gonna get the love. I told you that, yo. That's right. Tell her, Big 16, yo, can't expect nothing less, yo. I told her, yo, because when she DM me, yo, no, she texted me. That's how I knew she knew me for real, because she had my phone number. And I'm just like, huh? Not about to post this. What? You better first get you something legit up and then send a picture of the product or something. But like, yo, I told her show up and she showed up. So you definitely wasn't bluffing, yo. Like, that's what's up. And yo, I'm a sponsor somebody for some cupcakes too, yo. How about we do that? Yo, Jazz, you let me know how much it is, yo. I'll sponsor 5 people, yo. If 5 people want to get cupcakes, we can do that. Just send me my bill. All right, y'all. We literally only got about 2 more minutes. Yo, Chaos Moody said I got pre-recorded jewels. Yo, y'all ain't gonna see nothing on the Heart Smiles page, yo, while I'm on vacation. I might try to, as I get some service in like some of the spots, I might try to show y'all like some pictures of like the open sea, like where I'm at. But like, yeah, yo, y'all ain't gonna get nothing, yo. Y'all ain't get nothing. Y'all ain't get nothing. Let me do this last one real quick, yo, and then we out of here, yo. Yo, partnering to address issues. And this one, yo, this one is a little crazy because as leaders, sometimes we automatically think that we got to do everything on our own. Sometimes we just automatically have it in our mind that it's all on our shoulders and we got to do it all. No, and no. Hey, Rob, what you mean while I'm gatekeeping, yo? What I'm gatekeeping on, yo? Never that. You is crazy, yo. Yo, but utilize your team, yo. So remember how we talked about like playing on their strengths, play on their strengths, and also utilize your team, yo, especially when it comes to creating solutions. One of the best things you can do, even if you don't use their ideas, but one of the best things that you can do is include your team on that conversation. Like when you have things to work out, when you have things to figure out, people will respect you more, people will trust you more. It creates a stronger sense of transparency. And like, yo, you never know what new perspectives will come out of it. You never know what new ideas can come out of it. Yo, if it's only you, then you're not doing the leadership thing right, yo. It can't ever just be you, yo. So when you are on these projects at your jobs and all that stuff like that, when you are running into like issues and stuff like that, yes, as a leader, we have a solutions oriented type mindset, but we also want to engage other people in the process. Just because you are seeking the solution and just because you're responsible for getting the solution doesn't mean that the solution is always going to come from your mind. Sometimes the solution is coming from somebody else's mind. And that's a great way for you to build up the confidence of your team when you're able to give people kudos and say, hey, thank you so much, Big 16, for your idea on this. We actually ended up using your idea to solve the problem. Thank you, Mr. Elaborator. What you said helped us to see things from a different perspective. So we were able to come up with this as a result of that. You want to be able to have those type of moments because as a leader, that's how you are able to create a team that is cohesive and a team that experiences synergy. And I know I just dropped some words on y'all, and some of y'all probably like, Miss Joni, can you explain cohesiveness? Can you explain synergy? We don't have time. I would love to, but real quick, the basic definition, cohesive is when your team works together, even if y'all don't like each other, like y'all are working together, y'all are moving as one, y'all are like this. That's being a cohesive team. And synergy just basically means that the energy that everybody brings is complementing one another. Like that synergy is creating something stronger than what one person's energy can do alone. So I hope that was good, y'all. We did not get into the character traits. We can probably do that next Thursday. We can get into the character traits because that's very important. But I hope y'all learned something today, y'all. I hope that this was informative. I hope that people really took notes, y'all. And I hope that some of this stuff that we talked about, you actually go and put it into practice. So thank y'all so much for your time, yo. We about to get beats on here, y'all. Beats, there you go. Finn said he needed this. Thank you, Finn. I'm glad you found it helpful. What's up,
There
Beats?
we go. Hey, Miss Jones.
How
Hey.
you feeling?
Um. Well, I'm feeling all right. I can't complain, really. Well, I can, but I won't. How about that?
Right? Because don't nobody care anyway, yo.
Yeah.
You looking fresh and clean, though.
Yes, ma'am. Ooh, came out prepared this day. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Look, I'm going to give you a little tip before we leave. We got a young lady on here named Taylor. I believe you familiar.
Oh yeah, we met yesterday.
If if Taylor get her audio together, you should definitely have her come on here and give the people a little something so we can really hear her voice because she was doing something on Success Sessions yesterday, but her
Okay.
audio was messed up, so people couldn't really feel the power and the talent
Oh
that she had.
man.
So I ain't saying pressure her, but press her a little bit,
Taylor. Taylor.
right? All right, Beats. I see you back in a little bit.
Yes, ma'am. Oh man. Okay. And next week we can talk. Hey everybody. Oh, what's up? I'm just happy to be here for real. What's this? Taylor, hey, we definitely gotta get you on there. I mean, if I'm hearing it from Miss Donnie, then it must be good. You know, already heard it in person, but you know, like you gotta get a people something too, because you know they always looking for something. Y'all want to hear me sing? I sound like a dance girl. Hey, y'all, don't do that to yourself. Don't say that. Don't say that. Oh shoot! All right, let me get my everything situated. That is. Hold up. But yeah, how y'all been, man? Like, for me, like what's been going on is just that's a lot of work stuff and just me getting stuff together. I can go into that a little bit, but right now, my computer want to try me. That's what's happening. Okay, bow. All right, cool, man. Nah, I ain't say he can sing. Hey, yeah. Man. Hey yo, you funny today, huh? Okay. She said I got y'all next week. Okay, I'll hold you to that. For real. We got what do we got coming next week? We should have. All right, I'm gonna say we should have Miss Cherise Bullock coming next week. Okay, she had to reschedule last time, so you know we don't let nobody play with the sessions, but she got some knowledge to drop. So if she come next week, you know you can show her a little something, and you know we never know what can happen from that. You feel me? That I knew Naeem had some Trey songs in him. Hey yo. Yeah, man. But today, man, I just want to go over like because there's been a lot of like interesting events going on in just like the music realm, period. I wanted y'all opinion on like what's been going on. The first thing I wanted to address before anything is Lil Nas X, and his situation with just how people are perceiving his video for Industry Baby. As a bet which says it will be next Thursday. Next Thursday on the 5th. So you can come in and maybe like the first 15 minutes, drop a little something, let her know who you are and all that. And just, show them all something. You feel me? Yeah, so this Lil Nas X, if have y'all seen the Industry Baby video? Because that's what I'm referencing when I'm talking about how people are perceiving his Industry Baby video. And me personally, like when I'm listening, I got a good look at the Industry Baby video, and it's new, and I think that's what's really like putting people off, not what it is, but the fact that it's new, and people will like respond to new stuff like 20 different ways. But how do y'all feel about the Industry Baby video by Lil Nas X? How you feel about people responding to it? You feel like people are overreacting? What's up? What's up, y'all? Because Lil Nas X, he's been like an interesting figure in the game. That's the thing. Like I've watched his development and growth, like pretty much everybody has, and he's like unapologetically himself, and people just don't seem to like that because of who he is. I feel like a lot of people don't mess with him just because he's like gay, and I don't see why that matters. Taylor said, I think that people are just homophobic and uncomfortable with the LGBTQ community expressing themselves, being embraced and taking up space. I'd have to agree. Yeah. I feel like people express themselves how they would like to. Oh, okay. So you got some feelings on that, Cam? It seemed like it. And yeah, I'd have to agree. Like I personally don't have any problems with like just the LGBTQ community being in like the game. Like I think it's natural, they're a group of people who want to express themselves in their own way. That's just what music is. But like, why do you think people are so like apprehensive to like, well, specifically hip hop fans being so apprehensive to like being in like the music industry? Because like for me, like the way I understand music, period, it's just like all inclusive. So like, why would anybody really? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. I think everybody has freedom of expression. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I feel the same way. Um, yeah, man. I think people are overreacting, honestly. Um, like it's because Lil Nas X is so big that everybody's just like everybody, like the minority turns into like a majority in a way. Cam said if people actually do their research, they're the foundation for most of our culture and have been around since the beginning of time, especially in African Asian culture. Educate me, because like I don't know that much about the LGBTQ community, because like even though I should be educating myself, forgive me. But like as far as them being the foundation of the culture, like I don't know the primary ways of like just like the general like ways of like how they have been the foundation. And I think that's a problem with a lot of people where like they're making judgments based off what they don't know. And they do that all the time. They do. Like it's true. Um but yeah, and that seems like a pattern too, where like people make judgments of what they don't know, and then after that kind of try to undermine that community even when they do find out, which I think is weird. Yeah. Buddhists and shamans, Native Americans, a lot of the healers were non-binary. Oh, see, I never knew that. That's the thing. I never knew that at all. You trying to hop on the session? Because you seem like you got some knowledge about this. For real, like, um, I usually like because like the way that I've been taught about history, like you don't. I think for most of the people too, like I didn't like gender identity or not gender identity. Um, like how you sexually identify like isn't really one of the primary factors that they talk about in just education. Period. Um, yeah. Like, I think for the people in that community, like of course they have more reason to be interested, but like they don't really, that's not something they make a priority in education. Even though it's like such a big issue now. Well, not a big issue, but like it's such a big thing now within our culture. Like a lot of them just don't seem to value like anybody's like sexual relationships. And if they do, then it's all like heterosexual and it's all like which I think ties into the music industry. Yeah. Like a lot of people in the music industry are just like stuck in one narrative in one way, and then when there's another way, they kind of just like either they act like it doesn't exist or then they hate on it, which is interesting to me. Yeah, man. Along with that, oh man, I got so much. All right. Once we get past this topic, 2021 has been, I want to say, a really good year for music. Like a really good year. Like 6ix9ine pretty much ended with 2020, which was cool. I was happy with that. Um, but then we got like a lot of artists. Some of the more experienced artists came out, and then there was like a lot of artists that like I didn't expect. I think from the men it comes from the lack of them being able to express their femininity. Femininity, yeah, I said that right. Okay. Without society pushing the narrative of them being gay, which causes hypermasculinity. Yeah, all that right there. Yeah, you just want to come on the session because like I think we need you on for real. Um, it comes from that lack of being able to express their femininity without society pushing the narrative of them being gay. Uh, yeah, like especially in media, like the way that media kind of rolls out new things, I hate. Because like for Black people, like it's like prime, like it's like patient zero, where like in American culture, Black people were being introduced by first being the token character, or like characters that didn't really matter. Yeah, I think she should get on too. Oh, how about bro? Um, and then they start like actually being part of the crew, but first they're like paraded by their stereotypes. I believe it's also passed down from generation to generation and is taught as something bad. Yeah, can't disagree with that, honestly. Like I'm trying to think of something that was taught bad. taught to be bad, like masculinity, like I think a prime suspect for like masculinity. Send me the link. All right, but what you want me? You just want me to send it to your phone? Oh yeah, oh yeah. Masculinity. I think we can go back to a little history lesson. Franklin was it? No, it was Theodore D. Roosevelt when he was president. He like in order to like put power into his position, he made a whole campaign about like hypermasculinity and like if you're a man, then you do these things. And so that kind of became like what men were represented by. Um, like people don't think about Theodore D. Roosevelt every time they think about being like masculine, but a lot of the things that he talked about and a lot of things that he promoted are like present today. And like the man is always the leader, or the man is always this, that, and the third, which I think is interesting. All right, she about to go home. Come on and split some fact. So yeah, man. Um, but yeah, especially in the black community, like a lot of stereotypes, and it's people have like a really like rude way of doing it. You feel me? Because like society decides on a stereotype that they're gonna be okay with, and then they push it on to other people as being like normalized. Even the people who they're like or they're oppressing, they'll be like that. They'll be like, "Yo, this is the way it is. This is what you are." And then like years down the family tree, like people believe that, and that's ingrained instead of just like a new idea. It's sad, bro. Yeah, man. Let's get Taylor on here to talk about this, man. Yeah, but yeah, just back to little Nas X, man. Like I love how he's attacking it though. Like he's attacking it how I think people should be. Where like he's having fun with it and he's taking it as a joke for real. He's just like, yeah, like this is what you think, but this is what I know. And even if you don't like what I'm like talking about, like I'm gonna do what I want to do anyway because that's what my heart pulls to. And I think that's what music should be about. Like Tupac said it best. I talked about it in like a couple sessions ago, where like as an expression, you need people with like who don't care, who just like are brave with the fact that they want to like be that image to just be like, hey yo, like this is what I think. This is what I think is right, and this is what I'm gonna stick by. Like how like the little TikTok meme where they like, and I'm gonna stick beside them, and I'm gonna say like, this your man, yeah, this mine, and I'm gonna stick beside, like kind of like that, where they just ride it out to the end and they don't let anybody else mess up their conviction. Hey, what's up?
Hey, I look crazy today, but that's cool. That's cool.
Hey, so yeah, I want to go back to you talking about you said it, I think it comes from men and the lack of them being able to express their femininity. Is that what you said?
Yes. So, yeah, like I just feel like just and somebody said in the comments like it's a generational thing too. I definitely agree because I feel like men, like if you think about, for instance, like Lil Yachty,
Mm-hmm.
like he wears nail polish. He has his own nail polish line coming out, and people in the comments, like in the shade room, was like calling him like gay, or when Young Thug was wearing skirts and dresses, everybody said that he was down low. But it's just like I feel like I'm very spiritual, so I
Mm-hmm.
always say we are souls experiencing a human experience instead of a human experiencing a soulful experience. Like we are our souls first, so we all are made up of feminine and masculine energy. Like
Mm.
you know what I mean? That's why I hate when like mothers be like, "Oh, like he's a boy, he not supposed to be crying." I'm like, but we all have emotions. We all, you know what I mean? And like guys aren't really able to express themselves in a feminine way. And then if they do, it gets deemed as like gay, or he's down low, or whatever that stigma is. And I don't really like that because non-binary people, transgenders have been around since before it became like a mainstream awareness. Like they've
Exactly.
always existed in some form in every culture. But now it's like this thing of, it's been shunned upon because I don't think people have the cultural knowledge of the important role that they play in our society. So it's just like I get frustrated because I'm like, I'm a part of the LGBTQ community. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
big advocate for the community. Um, and I hate when I see people just have no like knowledge of the history, or like, especially in the black community, just like
Oh yeah.
genders and all of that have been in the hip hop scene, have been a part. Like, come on now, if you watch the old like hip hop ghetto movie, you've
Uh,
seen some like form of a transgender person in the club or something like that. Like, I can't think of the movie off the top of my head, but you've seen it. So it's just like it's always been here.
yeah. So what do you think about the Lil Nas X situation now with Industry Baby?
I only watched bits and pieces of the music video. Only because I'm the type of person, I don't like watching stuff when other people watch it. I don't know, but
Okay.
I watch bits and pieces from what I seen on like online and stuff. But from what I seen and from like the performance he did, I think like what the BT Awards, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I seen bits and pieces of that, and I seen like the controversy it had, and I was just like, what is the issue? You know what I mean? Like, he's expressing himself in a very creative way. He's not hurting anybody. He's not spreading any misleading information. He's not putting anybody in harm. His
Mm-hmm.
music isn't misinforming. I think people don't understand, like, and I hate when people say, especially for like children, you're not supposed to see this, but it's just like a lot of the times, like, children know who they are and what they are at a very young age. And I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of people like to be naive about that, especially when it comes to young black boys. And it's just like, you want children to see a representation of what they feel comfortable with. You know what I mean? Like, let
Okay.
him express himself however he wants to, as long as he's not telling people to go out there and shoot people and harm people. You know what I mean? I don't think that is the problem, because people are going to do what they want to do regardless. Whatever they choose to take
Exactly.
away from the situation is what they choose to take away. And the only way people can be uncomfortable is if you don't have those uncomfortable conversations. Period. So,
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I think Lil Nas X is like very necessary right now because like it kind of exposes like the homophobia in America for like its true form.
mm-hmm.
Cause like he literally just gay. Like that's it. Like he gay and he creative and like people go the whole nine with like all of his material,
The whole
even though
thesis.
exactly. Even though like he not like he's doing what he's supposed to do. That's what an artist does. They like take what they know and then they make it like their own. That's pretty much it.
Exactly. And I just think it's for especially for the men in the hip hop industry, they can't sexualize him, because if it was a woman, she would, if you think of like Kalani or Haley Kiyokio, I don't really know how to pronounce her name, but women in the
Okay.
industry who are gay and people know they are gay or bi or whatever, and it's a woman, that can sexualize her. Either way, they can have this fantasy of, oh, I don't care, she's still a woman, I still can make comments on her body, I can still
Mm-hmm.
make sexual comments about what she's doing, what she's wearing. I still can have that control and have that narrative because she is of the opposite sex. With a man, can't do that. So I feel like people, they can't control that narrative of what type of person they want to create out of him, because
Mm.
he is a man and he is gay, and that makes a lot of men uncomfortable because they can't sexualize him. They can't put him in this type of category where they become dominant, because he's very comfortable in his sexuality, and they can't
Yeah.
like closet him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. And I think I'd have to disagree with you there because I think it's not that they can't. It's just that they don't. Like they're too scared to.
true. That is very true. That is very true.
Malaysia
And I think,
said, hold up, my bad. Malaysia said, I think people are so mad because the LGBTQ plus community are becoming more confident with who they are and aren't letting society put them down.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I also think it comes from men just, I don't know, I automatically think like if you're a man and you're uncomfortable with being around people who are not like you, then you have some form of like, I don't know, some type of thing where it's either because, and
Like
a lot of the
insecurity.
time it is because you aren't comfortable with being that expressive, or you that's what you're attracted to. That just comes down to the bottom line, because in our community there, and it comes from society. Like sometimes I get mad at men because I'm like, you're old enough to, live out your truth, but I know that repressing that comes from trauma and social expectations, especially within our community. um that it's like this resentment. I don't even think a lot of the time it's hatred. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you hear black men like bash the LGBTQ community, I think it comes from a lot of resentment and a lot of fear of judgment and taking up space how they really
Mm.
want to, based on society stigmas and all these other things. But I just think once you get to a certain age, you can't really let society dictate how you want to live your life.
Yeah. Let's just say they do things to please others instead of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. I think that like, and that's pretty primal too. That comes down to like the guy being like the provider and all that, and like trying to like promote like I guess the best image for everybody else. But like it starts with yourself for real. Like Lil Nas is like the best example of that. Like I don't see him hating on nobody. He just like defend what he stand by. Like that's pretty much it. Like if people just left him alone, there wouldn't be any problem at all.
Real honestly, I agree. And I also think that there's also this stigma that when you are gay, you're automatically deemed as feminine. As
Mm,
and it's also really like anti-woman too, like if you think about it, because this stigma around men being feminine when if they're gay, it's also this stigma of them being less of a man, or being weaker, or whatever the case may be, which is also kind of like hate towards women because we're like hella strong or whatever. But
yeah,
it's like if you're gay, you're automatically deemed as like weak or whatever. And I'm just like, or more feminine. When I've met gay guys who you could be having a regular conversation with them and you wouldn't even know their sexual orientation unless you asked. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, just because you're a man and you're gay doesn't mean you want to wear nail polish or do your hair or talk in a feminine way or dress in a feminine way. Because femininity and masculinity is really all about self-expression. Anybody can be feminine and masculine. Anybody,
exactly.
we all have both qualities. It's just what we choose to express. Um, so I just be like, it's weird that they be like, oh, you gay, you're a man. Oh, I can't hang out with you because you know what I'm saying? Or they have this idea that just because you're a man and you gay that you automatically like men. Like I've had people that are like, oh yeah, like I don't have any friends anymore because my friends feel uncomfortable being around me. And I'm like, well, if they feel uncomfortable with your sexual orientation, they need to take a look in the mirror. Because who said you
Forget
even this
them.
type? Who said you
Forget
even this
them.
type? You probably like white men. Like who?
Hey,
So crazy.
oh shit. Malaysia said also saw on TikTok feminine men who are straight, but society pushes the gay narrative on them.
Yes.
Yeah. Hold on. My screen acting funny. Okay, there we go. Yeah. I think like I don't know. People are just weird, bro. Like a lot of this is just to deal with like family, like what your family pushes on you. Because whatever your family pushes on you as far as sexuality is kind of how you act moving forward until like either you get brave and you decide like, all right, I'm gonna live my life the way I want to, or like somebody else tells you different and that inspires change within you. But like I don't get it. Feminine men are like just out there. You feel me? It doesn't mean anything. It just annoys me.
Yeah, I agree, and it's also like a woman thing too, because I think um especially like during like Jim Crow, even going back to like before segregation and things like that, where it was this, like you said, this narrative of that like women and men had to be together because they had to procreate and they had to create generations of, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
a lot of women also weren't able to live their truth and express themselves. Like I know there are books out there that talk about like women who snuck around and like dealt with other women even though they were married to a man. So it just came down to like these social generational norms that is now we're living in a generation where our generation is kind of like questioning everything. Like we're the I call us the questioning generation because we kind of look at these systems and we're just like, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't look right.
Hmm.
This is very outdated. Um, and we kind of have space to really be who we want to be.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's weird when you see that we really didn't have that opportunity like growing up, about like not growing up but like generations before us really didn't have that opportunity, why, which is
Yeah.
why I said it comes from like a lot of resentment and just being scared because if you look at like I said, the Jim Crow era, like women weren't allowed to have bank accounts, men weren't, they were supposed to be the head of the house, like they had to be because they had all of this kind of like power, but they didn't really have a lot of freedom with that power, not freedom
Mhm.
of really like expression or living in your actual truth because of social norms. So it's just like now we kind of have that space and having generations kind of tell you like this isn't, projecting, basically projecting their fears onto you, because as a child we don't understand any of that. We want to express ourselves how we want to express ourselves. So if you're a little boy and you like wearing Tinkerbell dresses, and your grandmother has instilled into your father that that's not okay, then your father's automatically going to do the same to you because he isn't
Exactly.
really aware, because they didn't have that space to have conversations like we do. So now that we having
Mhm.
conversations, people are like, mm-mm.
Yeah. And that's how it's like enforced. Hold up. Malaysia said, but I feel like today masculine women are seen as powerful, where feminine men are seen as weak. What you feel about that?
Ooh, yeah, I agree. I think that it's almost like this imbalance kind of. It's like we're really trying to find that the right pendulum swing of where like everything is cohesive, and I think it just comes down to um the hypermasculinity in women. I think really comes from a repression of women not really having the space to be in power or of power.
Mm.
Um, like we had to fight so long just to say how we feel, just to be able to take up space and be seen in any type of environment, whether it's being a wife, being a mother, being a businesswoman, or whatever the case may be, that we've kind of come to the age where like we don't really know how to balance that, um where we feel like we have to like kick down the doors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and it that also comes from a lot of outdated social standards, especially for black women and women of color. And
Yeah.
then as far as men being feminine, um, again, social norms of men always being in a masculine role, in a dominant role, like men not really having the opportunity to take a step back because there's always been this imbalance of gender gender roles, or you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
energy, because like there's never been a balance of men and women being equal on any
Mhm.
playing field, whether that's social, economically, emotionally, you know what I mean, like women
Yeah.
have always been below the standard, and men have always been way above the standard. So there's really no space for them to play around with either energy because
Yeah.
they couldn't. So now that we can, it's just like people are like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like, what
Exactly.
is happening? But it gotta happen somehow.
Yeah, and especially in music too. That's the thing. Like in music, I've noticed that like people are a lot more critical of like female rappers. Like I remember I had a conversation with my girlfriend basically, and we was talking about like female rappers and stuff like that, and I overstepped because I was like, well, that's why y'all only got like one big female rapper like out there that's like really known. And she was like, don't you see anything wrong with that? And I was like, yeah, I do. Like it's like because like everybody sees Nicki, right? And then like it's a lot of female rappers that was before her that was like popping, but it seems like right now it's only like maybe as far as like in America, it's only like maybe 3 to 5 maybe like big female rappers that like everybody respects and like acknowledges. And then like when you go down from there, like from the top, and then maybe you get to like the 80, like maybe like the top like 20% of rappers that's really hitting, it gets more and more like masculine as far as who people like really respect, which I never noticed is that like if a female doesn't have like the looks, the bars to match it, and also a narrative that everybody agrees with. If one of those isn't there, then she can't be respected as a rapper. You feel me? So like, if you got an ugly rapper, well, ugly is in the eye of the beholder, of course. But if you got a rapper that like people just like the masses just don't agree with as far as like sex appeal, like it's like a minority that really like see her as that, then like it's gonna be harder for her to blow because a majority of people are only focused on that. They're like, well, I don't like how she looks, so I'm not gonna listen to how she rap. Um, or like she looked good, but I don't like how she raps, so she immediately out for me. And then you got like pretty much any male rapper can step in the door, and as long as he sound good, he in. Like people will be like, well, it don't matter what he look like. You feel me? Like he rap good and he got a message, and that's what I really meant. People are a lot more critical about female rappers, like a lot more.
I definitely agree. And touching on like the whole Nikki situation, it's really weird because when she first came into the game, she was like talking her stuff. She was a very, heavy hitter. Um, but if you notice, she got respect from the people who respected her craft versus people who were trying to sexualize her. Because if you notice, a lot of Nicki's hits or a lot of her mainstream stuff came from her crossing over to pop because she is a very dominant rapper. Like she can go toe to toe with your favorite male rapper.
Yeah.
And if you notice, a lot of people have a lot to say about that because she takes up space. As a woman, being dominant and knowing that she's good at what she does, and knowing that she's great enough to where as though people can't just sexualize her because she's beautiful, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't just rap about her body or looking good. She really, if you actually listen to a lot of her stuff, she, even her features, she can really rap. Like her craft is amazing. Like you can't deny that part of her talent. But a lot of rappers now, even if you go back to like the 90s, Little Kim, Foxy,
Mm-hmm.
Missy, um, you know, Lil Kim was really popping. She's a really great rapper, but she used her sex appeal. You know what I mean? She was very comfortable in her femininity, and it's nothing wrong with that. But if you hear a lot of men, they'll say, "Oh yeah, Lil Kim is a great rapper," but they'll also then say that, and then in turns be like, she was sexy, she was beautiful, she dressed however she wanted. You know what I mean? Like They talk about her sex appeal. They talk about Foxy's sex appeal. You know what I mean? And Nicki did use that to her advantage in the beginning, but
Mhm.
she also let her craft take her far, and take
Oh
her, put her in spaces that a lot of female rappers haven't been able to do. And if you notice, a lot of female rappers now, they use their sex appeal. You know what I mean? Like, it's
yeah,
in their music. And um I honestly don't think that's really like a dominance thing. I really think that's a feminine thing, because as a woman, you want to be confident, you want to feel sexy, you want to feel beautiful, you want to express
Mhm.
that. Like, femininity is just all about expression. Dominance is about taking up space unapologetically, in my opinion, and femininity is about expression. So if you're a woman and you confident, you're gonna want to talk about how confident you are. That's not dominant. That's very feminine. Being able to walk into a room and people like, oh my God, she's beautiful, or whatever the case may be. Like, but
Mhm.
I think a lot of men, they try to control that narrative. Like, and I think that's why a lot of women lead with that in rap, especially because it's just like a form of taking their power back. Like, you can't sexualize me if I'm already confident enough in talking about my sexuality.
yeah,
You can't, you know what I'm saying? That's why men only, oh, does she have anything else to talk about? She always want to talk about popping this and shaking that. But it's like a form of, like having control over our body, our narrative.
exactly.
Um, that way men don't take that away from us. You know what I mean? Like, I'm walking into a room and I'm showing you, like, I'm okay with being naked, or I'm okay with being, talking about, I mean, if you can do it, I can do it. So I don't
Exactly.
know. I think
Like,
the industry men are just they just they just want to have this control. I don't know why. It's such a weird thing, because it's
yeah,
so many female rappers that are like so good, and you don't hear. They might have like one song every now and then that might get like radio streams or something like that. Or, a lot of them are independent artists, so they don't get as much exposure.
Mhm.
But it's crazy because I be hearing a lot of female artists, and I'm like, who is she? Like, what the hell? Who is this girl? Because she really dope. But if she don't have a big butt or a certain look, and men can't sexualize her, or whatever the case may be, or like create this image that they want, then they automatically just feel like that she don't deserve to be in that space, which is crazy.
yeah. And Malaysia also said, and they also didn't, referring back to Nikki, they also didn't respect her until she had to scream and be labeled as the angry black woman.
Yes, which is another thing, because people just have this weird agenda. And a lot of people, I don't know, I think, like, a lot of people think that she was like being dominant in her music. But I feel like dominance and like, and femininity, they kind of, it's like Miss Joni was saying earlier, they have this synergy, like, you can't really have one without the other, because then why am I getting so tongue tied? It creates this imbalance. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's why I say everybody can be dominant and feminine, because it's not what it looks like. It's all about the
Yeah.
energy you give off and the energy you create in whatever space you in. We
Mhm.
all have feminine energy. Like, we all are vulnerable. We all cry. We all have emotions. We all can take up space. We all can be confident. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
So,
go ahead.
no, I was just saying, like, you can't really have one without the other. So them labeling her as like the angry black woman, when she was just being herself and showing that she can take up space, but she doesn't really have to do too much to do it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, being a woman is powerful. Like, we are the creators. Like, our
Mhm.
womb is the center of life. You cannot have anything if you do not have a woman. So that's why I always say Adam came from Eve, okay? And I ain't even religious.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking on men trying to, because you brought up some important points, which is that like men are trying to like control the image of what music is supposed to be, and just like in general, like they just try to like create this image that's like only like satisfactory to them, and try to like like through society like meld people that way. What do you think about the baby's comments at Rolling Loud?
I just figured you were going to ask me that because I was just so like disappointed, but I wasn't surprised. Which is funny because this is like a reoccurring thing in our community, and like I said, it comes from a lack of knowledge, a lack of history on the LGBTQ community, even dating back before slavery, like starting from the beginning of, you can tell who has like done their research, people who have took the time out to be understanding. And like I said, the LGBTQ community is like one of the most confident communities you will ever see. Like they are the the definition of living in your truth, literally. You know what I mean? Given the the fear that they have to go through, um, and things like that on a day-to-day basis just by not being accepted um in our society. But they live in their truth unapologetically no matter what. And it's just like him doing that, knowing that his music and he's worked with people who are with that community. He's worked with people who fans are a part of that community. I just think it was ignorant, and I just feel like, what do you have to gain? You know what I mean? Like it don't pay you nothing to mind your business. If that's not what you for, you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying, then don't speak on it.
Mm.
Like if you minding your business, and if you really so comfortable with yourself and who you are as a person and living in your exact truth, how other people choose to live in their truth should have nothing to do with you. If you want to spread information, make sure you do it the correct way. Don't misinform people and also bring down other communities while you're doing it. Because if that had been a white person talking about the Black Lives Matter or getting on stage degrading black people or misinforming, you know what I mean? Then he would have been one of the first people on the internet to have something to say because it's his community. So don't go and disrespect somebody else's community when you know you will be feel some type of way if somebody did that to you. Like love thy neighbor, okay? Ain't that what they say in church?
Yeah. The thing about the baby situation though is that he ain't never not been that way though. Like as an artist, he hasn't like never he's never like said he wasn't that way. He's always been a strongly opinionated person. So at his show, personally, I think that like he said what his fans came for. Like that's who he represented himself as a person as. And so what he said just matches up with his like identity. You feel me? I don't think he meant to. I'm not gonna say it was justified, but I don't think he did anything that he thinks is wrong.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Um, I just want to know what be going on behind the scenes because where is the PR? Where is where is the media training? Like I remember growing up and like as a young child and like watching artists like big artists, rappers like Jay-Z and Nas and Beyonce, and they never spoke about certain situations because
Mm.
obviously if it was too controversial and they weren't informed or that wasn't their political stance or whatever, they just didn't speak about it.
Yeah,
Now you got social media where everybody feel like they can have an opinion, and a lot of artists are
exactly.
ignorant because the game of the music, the goal isn't the music anymore. I feel like Like even me being an artist, you know what I mean? I had to do a lot of self-reflecting. Like, do I really want to be an artist and be famous, or do I just want to share my love for music with other people? Because at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of artists aren't in it for the artistry. Like if you hear a lot of artists, a lot of music that they make, it isn't going to leave a big impact when they're gone. People might discover their music, but there isn't really a legacy. Like if you listen to Mariah, Whitney, Beyonce, even Nicki Minaj, like those are the artists that our grandchildren are going to be discovering, that generations from now they
Mhm.
are the pavement in changing the way that music is, and people are going to look back on that music and be like, wow, that was classic. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they contributed something to the music industry. A lot of these new, like especially in hip hop, a lot of these even R&B artists, like it's all for just the image and the sound and the money at the
Mhm.
end of the day. Because I'm like, y'all so lackluster. Like I'm sleep on y'all for real, because that's why they put out so many albums. Like I remember when an artist can put out an album, and that album and people starving for a new album. Starving. Like be still starving for Rihanna. But I'm gonna leave her alone. But you know what I mean? Like you couldn't wait for artists to drop their next album. Like we
Yeah.
just couldn't wait to see the visuals and the music videos, MTV behind the scenes. Now it's just everything is rushed and on this agenda, and I really don't like it.
Well, that's the thing. I think it's all about like now that the music industry is more open to everybody, um, it's more open to like anybody can hop in now. And so like now it's like now that anybody can hop in, there's like a general base of knowledge, everybody goes out. And when you have a industry that's as big as that, like it's gonna be a formula. People gonna figure out a formula. That's what people do. Like at the very bottom level, you figure out a formula and you go with it until like something starts to shake. And so what people are doing is that now they know the formula is just make music that like people have already made, except with your voice on it, and then have opinions that only match up with what everybody thinks. And then if you keep doing that for like 10 years, then like you're gonna be big anyway. You may no, maybe not influential, but that money definitely gonna come through. They're not worried about the culture.
Exactly. Exactly. I agree. I feel like there's no exclusivity in the music industry anymore. Um, which I feel like is kind of a good thing and a bad thing, because there are a lot of amazing artists, but like I said, it's so much on the media that you have a lot of these artists, they can get away with being lackluster, where you
Mm,
have a lot of these amazing artists who are independent, who don't get enough recognition, because it's not really about the art. You know what I mean? And I think that's just society in general. Everything is moving at such a fast pace. Everything is so quick, quick, quick. I want it now. That when it comes to art, people don't want to take the time to really digest real art, real creativity. They just want something that is very accessible and easy to get to. Um, and also because of social media, people want to see and I also think because of society, a lot of people like to vicariously live through certain
mhm.
people and images that they see. You see a very beautiful woman on social media. I know in 1,000 years I probably never look like that, but I'm going to idolize her so much because I wish I looked like that, or I wish I sounded like that, even if she
Exactly.
isn't amazing or talented. Like you got a lot of social media influencers who get paid to do absolutely nothing. Like because people just fetishize and live vicariously through them. That nothing is really exclusive. People don't have to work hard. Like I remember hearing about artists having to go through boot camp. Diddy making a band. Like hello, people had to
uh,
work just to get a single out, just to get a mixtape, a single promoted to a label. You know what I mean? Like you had to have that it factor, and now you don't. So
yeah. I'm gonna just say it louder for the people in back. Like y'all don't appreciate real art these days. Let me just say it how it is, bro. Y'all don't appreciate real art these days because we have so much music and like rotation now. Like it's like I think like I want to say like something in the millions of songs released per day. Like it's probably a song dropping right now that I don't even know about. Like
Honestly.
like there's so much music today that like people don't feel like they need it to be quality. And so when you don't need something to be quality, you don't know what quality is because you're not looking for it anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. It's all about the formula, like I said.
Hmm.
This is why I don't mess with a lot of these artists around here, like especially Baltimore artists, bro. Look, I already let y'all know before. I don't like Wayne Sosa. I don't like Young Moose. Like as a person, like personality wise, he a cool dude. But as far as his music goes, I don't really mess with it. I respect it. I don't mess with it. I don't mess with Wayne Sosa. I don't mess with a lot of these dudes out here because like they carved out their sound, which was cool, but like it's not gonna last. And like the only reason I'm gonna rock with something is if I know it's gonna last, because I'm gonna tell my kids about that. Like, oh yeah, that's a little tune y'all think is new right now. I was bumping that when I was younger. You feel me? Like
Exactly.
that's still hot now. That's what I want to be able to say. I can't say that with a lot. I'm gonna just look stupid. Like if I'm bumping like some of these Baltimore songs I hear, not by any of the artists that I mentioned, but some of these Baltimore songs I hear when I'm like 60, they're gonna be like, "Yo, go sit down, grandpa." Like
Yes.
you gonna pull your back.
Yes, I totally agree. And also on the formula thing you said, a lot of people who does find their formula, people who can't find their own formula will go and mimic someone else's formula, which is why you have a lot of people that have a lot of the same sound. And then that
Clones.
really takes away from the prime artists who created and who worked hard for their own formula. Not saying that you can't be inspired, but people will copy someone whole sound, whole formula, you
Mm,
know, everything instead of taking time out to really find out what's best for them because they see that that formula is getting them what they feel like instant recognition, not even knowing how long that person might have had to work to find that formula because artists aren't going
exactly.
to tell you about their fails, about how many times they had to get back in and re-record music or redo their whole entire plan to make something work for them. You
Mm,
know what I mean? And I hate that because I hate when I find artists who I know are genuine and then I hear someone and I'm like, yo, that sounds just like, but they getting more recognition than the artist who actually really created the formula. Like,
exactly.
how you swag jacking and you making millions, but like he really got it out the mud and really I don't like that. I really don't. And I blame
Yeah.
society.
Nah, yo, for real. Like, I'm not trying to go over time, but like, I'm always like, you'll be surprised. Like, I always like am a lot more interested when I hear like a good song, and then it gets even better when I hear the artist be like, yeah, we recorded this like 300 times.
Mm.
Like, I'd be like 300. Like you work that hard to get that. That's why I like it so much because you put in that effort. That's what I'm interested in. Like the success is cool once I find out about the failures that you took to get there. Like the
Um,
process is like it's the main like the process is just there for everybody. That's what I really want to hear about. Um, that's why like for me like as far as right now, it's saying I'm not gonna gas myself up, but like as far as like I know like what my mom told me, which I didn't want to hear, was like all of your music sound the same. That crap hurt. I was like, damn. Like you feel me like
yeah, I had to whew. See, she was honest.
yeah, like she was on. I even like I was like my what? Like I was like I don't know what he's like. Then I listened back to it and I was like, oh shit.
I don't know what happened, you guys. Um, we're probably going to have to do a part two to this conversation because I don't know where he went. And we coming up on time, y'all. But let us know in the comments if you guys want to hop on with us because we definitely need to do a part two just about controversy going on in the music industry. About the whole Lil Nas X situation, about the baby situation. If you guys have any opinions or topics that you wanted to talk about as far as that. But I guess I'm gonna hop off of here and I'm gonna talk to y'all later.
Hey, Taylor with the outro, picking it up. Hey, yo, that's what I'm talking about, yo. Y'all saw how she just picked that up on the fly, yo. Like, my man's beats dropped off. I don't even know what happened, yo. But she just picked it right up and closed out for Beats. Yo, Taylor closed it out for you, yo.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you. They must see
She
they
did
cut
you
me
right,
off.
yo.
Yeah.
She did you right. She was like, I don't know what happened, but we just gonna go ahead and close out. She said, let us know what topic y'all want to talk about. She said we're gonna get more into, I don't know if I'm saying it right, the Lord Nas situation. She was all like, yeah, yo. She did good, yo. She did an amazing job, yo, for it to be just like on the fly like that.
Yeah.
But y'all had a good
I'm gonna take notes for
conversation.
sure.
To next week. She said part 2 next week. We'll see you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for this time, for real.
Yeah,
I really
of
appreciate
course.
it.
No, thank you for showing up every week. I look forward to these.
All right. See you later, Miss Jody.
See you. Yo, shout out to Taylor, yo. Taylor really carried that thing at the end, yo. Shout out to Beach, yo, for always holding us down. But yo, that's it. That's the music spot for Thriving Thursday, yo. If y'all rocking with us next Thursday, then you already know Beats be right here for the music track, yo. 7 o'clock. And performers, y'all need to be on here. If y'all know somebody that perform, encourage them to come on here, yo, because we definitely got to start getting more into showcasing all the talent that we have. But yo, that's it. Y'all know what I'm about to say, yo. That is it, yo. You still got about 2 more hours in this working day, yo. You still got about 2 more hours. Go be productive. And if you want to be in the music industry, like, yo, you should never not be busy. Like, you should never not be doing something that's productive, because the music industry, just like especially, is so overcrowded. And as you can see, it's not the people with the talent that's getting noticed, that's getting put on. It's the people with the work ethic. Like, you can literally sound like trash, but if you working hard and you grinding and you performing, you won't get noticed. You want to get up there. So if you got talent, that's just a plus. That's just going to put you ahead of the competition. But like, yo, you got to find a way to keep yourself in grind mode if this is what you want to do, yo. Make sure you got some goals. And if you on here, already know, I ain't even got to give you the whole speech about the goals, because you already know, yo, you got to have your goals. You got to have your version of success. And if you don't have any goals, yo, that's definitely a bigger problem if you don't have any goals. But I'm sure that we don't have that problem. But just in case, if you don't, yo, don't hit me up, shorty. Do not get on my phone, yo. Go holler at one of them OG heartbeats, yo, and let them help you get some goals, yo. Because what do we always say? The journey of a million miles always begins with one step, yo. And you got to keep taking that one step over and over and over again to get where you want to go. Yo, don't be outworked. Don't get yourself outworked, yo. But that's it for me, yo. If you're rocking with us next Thursday, I see you right here. You already know 6 o'clock. That's what we do. And if you're rolling with us on Success Sessions tomorrow, then tomorrow, 10 a.m. right here. I see y'all later, yo. I'm out of here.